blessed we are to have Mr. Marcusetta.
After spending thousands of dollars on personal development, Marcusetta is undoubtedly the best of the best in personal development that I've been coached by.
The worst place in the world to be in prison is in your own mind. And that's exactly why some of you have never gotten out of the starting blocks.
Don't ever miss the view. And don't just show up by yourself, bring your whole team.
Stop settling for what life is giving you. Stop thinking you're not good enough.
I'm telling you, it's a game-changing event. Marcusetta, you are a rock star.
There's no technique. There's no secret other than the fact that when you stop flipping cards, you will not find any. What are you afraid of? What's holding you back? What is your problem? What's stopping you from living the life God intended you to live? You need to step up right now. This isn't just a seminar. This is your life.
All right, there she is. Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to our Wednesday morning huddle. And we are going to get started here in just a quick second here. Let me do something, make sure we are recording. If you can see me, you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. So there it is. What is up, Lindsay? So, and rename Jesse Macpherson. Boom. We're going to let everybody in here. Recording is on. If you can turn your camera on, and please do so. Please do so. I want to see your beautiful, smiling faces. I hate seeing just a blank name. I love seeing beautiful smiling faces. Hello, 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 hello. Let's use this technology for what it's meant to do. There is no hiding out in the world of Seacret. Let's get after this thing. Now, I know some of you guys can't put your camera on because you're secretly listening to me at work while you got your earpiece on, and no one is supposed to know that you're listening to me. And for that, I love you. I love you. And you're smiling right now, and you don't want anyone to notice, and I love you even more because you're like, I'm getting out of here at some point. So now I do know that many of you, you love what you do. You'd never want to stop what you do. And this is something that you do on the side. But I know there are many of you that are going, man, as soon as I get my income up, I can't wait. I can't wait to walk into my boss's office and be like, I got something in my eye. And they're like, what do you got in your eye? And you're like, I don't see myself working for you no more. Like, I know many of you are waiting for that day to be able to be full-time working on your business, working on your future, working on your dreams. And so I'm very excited about today's conversation. As you can tell, I have a different backdrop today. So, comes you're like, where's the blue world, right? So in my normal office, I am here in Cabo San Lucas. You guys want a quick view here? Let's see if I can get it for you. So let's see. Oh, I got, there's a quick view of Cabo. It's out there. And oh, there's a dude flying in a plane. He's about to fly in a plane. So you can't really see very well. It's pretty washed out. Maybe if I go a little bit closer, hold on. Let's see. Oh, there's the plane guy. There's the beach. So Anyway, so I, as excited as I am to be on a little family vacay here, I have literally been zoom, because there's so many great things going on here in the world of Seacret. And it's nice because you can build your business from anywhere. Hopping down there to the beach, literally getting a massage every day as the doctors ordered. So for the amount of stress that we've got going on. But the other thing that I want everybody to know about is where we're headed. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a timeline, and I want to give you guys a little bit of where we're going, where we're headed to, what's happening in the world of Seacret, and how to position yourself and make sure that this is a winning season for you, because we are literally going into one of the most important seasons that we have in the world of Seacret, which is holidays. And many of you guys be brand new to Seacret, or maybe this will be your first year having an opportunity to prepare for the holiday season, and particularly Black Friday, which is the kickoff of that season. Now, I'm not going to ruin a bunch of things, because tomorrow we have our all agent call that I'm going to be on tomorrow at, I think it's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. And on that call tomorrow, I'm going to be going over a lot of the Black Friday announcements. I'm not going to ruin those for you guys here today, so make sure you're on the call tomorrow. However, I do want to give you guys a few things here in preparation for what's happening. So first off is this: where are we going? Right now, where we're going is we are literally going into a view from the edge. So what is a view from the edge? It is our convention coming up next weekend. Oh my God, it's coming so fast. And for those of you guys, if you haven't been aware of this, if you go to viewamericas.com, viewamericas.com, you can obviously see all the information on here, but you can reserve your seat immediately. When you reserve your seat, it's going to take you to sign in from your ticketing, where you purchase tickets from. And you're going to notice here when you sign in that there are tickets you can purchase for the in-person, but you can also purchase a ticket for the live stream. That's right. Even if you're in the United States, we had lives, or we had, I want to make sure this is very clear. We have no interest in doing live streams, literally zero. Like, we don't want to do them. But we do know that we live in a time where it's a weird world out there, right? So, and I'm not going to go down that path, but I do want everybody to know here that I think it's very important that we get everybody that maybe last minute couldn't get a ticket, or had an issue with traveling, whatever it may be, is to get there in person with us. But if you can't get there in person with us, get your ticket for the live stream, so that way everybody can participate in watching a view from the edge and getting all the updates, the announcements, the promotions, and everything that's happening in the world of Seacret. That's number one. Okay. Number two is we have a new package that's available in the world of Seacret. And this new package is called the Power Pack. And there is an extra bonus that's coming on this package right now between now and the convention. All right. So this is an amazing set of products. So one of the most important things is the amount of CV with it, which is 300. Right now, 300 CV is really important, because what it is it allows you to cycle on your lesser side with 300 CV. So one power pack gets you a cycle, which means that two of them get you 2 cycles, which means that is a double cycle, and getting you all the bonuses that go along with that. Now, we have really, if you look at 3 price points: small, medium, and large. Now, a lot of us, okay, and most of you are probably people that came in like me going, I want it all. I want to have it all. I want all the products, and we came in with our professional package, or our all-in package, as we like to call it. And so, but sometimes people have a hesitancy promoting that. And I want to let you guys know is promote everything. I remember being brand new in Seacret 10 years ago and being afraid, because I used to be in a business where the most I was asking somebody for was a couple $100. It was like $150 to join, and there was like a $50 membership. So it was like about $200. And I remember going like, $2,000? Do people really do that? Right? And the answer is yeah. Because here's what I found: people don't spend on what they want or what they need. They really spend money on what they want. And there's a lot of people that want to have it all, like legitimately have it all. Right now, not only do they want to have it all, but they want to basically come in full force. Does that mean everybody? No, but about 1 out of 10 that I found out that sign up will come all in. But the other reason is because what a lot of people do is to land in the middle. They might go, okay, I can't do that. I don't want to start at the bottom, and I can't start at the top. So they'll land in the middle. So the middle package, this one, which is so incredible, and the bonuses that are paid out on this, which are fantastic. I want to make sure that everybody knows about this. So I just want to draw it out for you guys here real quickly in your back office. Okay. So bada bing, bada boom. Actually, what I'm going to do is this. If you wouldn't mind, I think I saw Mr. Jefferson Santos on here. I think he is. Let me see if I can find him. He is on here. Jefferson, I'm going to make you a co-host here because I'm going to be drawing out some things. If you see anybody in the waiting room, if you could admit them in, that would be fantastic. And Leah, one of our amazing diamonds from Canada, I'm going to also make you a co-host just in case. If you guys see anybody in the waiting room, if you could let them in, that would help me out here. So I'm not trying to do 700 things at the same time, getting into our training topic here for the day. So if you look at this power pack, I want you guys to make sure that you guys understand how this works because it is an incredible extra bonus that's on the table right now. And I want to make sure that everyone is aware of it. Okay. So if you guys can see, we've got my little camera here. Okay. So right now, if you go out there, I want to make sure and enroll a old person with this package. So let's say you signed me up personally 5 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and I go buy this power pack in my back office. You are going to get a 10% bonus on this pack, even though I'm an old agent. That's right. Anybody who purchases this pack is going to get a 10% bonus on this pack on top of what normal commissions would be. Now, obviously, if I'm an old agent, that's incredible because I can go back to anybody and I can get a 10% bonus. But let's look at new people. Now, if you are a star agent and you're qualified for direct order bonuses or you're a bronze and above, right? Not only are you going to get the 10% pack bonus, you're going to get a 10% direct order bonus, which means it's really what? 20%. Right? So let's look at a new person, right? So if a new person comes into the business, right? And let's say they come in because typically, people are going to get what you get. They come in with a $600 package, right? Now, what you want to do is help them go star. By going star, how many people do they need to sign up? 2, right? So let's say they sign up their first person with a $600 power pack. So $600 power pack. What is the commission on the power pack bonus? So the power pack bonus, the PPB, I don't know, I just made that up, just go with it, right, is 10% power pack bonus. So it's $60. So their first sign up, they're going to get $60 immediately. Now they go sign up their second person at $600 with this power pack that has this incredible lineup of our nutrition and our skincare and our 10 experience packs and a free month of Club Secret. Like it's the best deal on the planet, right? So they're going to get this power pack bonus of $60, right? So what did they just earn? They earned $120 in this extra bonus. But when they get their second person, they're going to get their direct order bonus of 10%, which is also $60. Direct order bonus, $60, which means they're going to earn $120 when they get their second one. So if they get 2 people with a $600 package, that's how much? That's right. You got it. $240 for signing up 2 people. Two with the $600 package. So really, if you're looking at it, you're really getting a 20%. You're getting the 10% normal direct order bonus when you get your second for hitting star, and you're getting a 10% bonus on just this pack. So whatever you normally earn. So if you were to draw that out, let's say a new person came in, okay? New person came in and they went out there and got 6 personal signups. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all 6 of those people came in at $600. So what would that be? Well, you would earn 6 times 60, okay, of this power pack bonus. That's the extra bonus, right? Which is going to be 6 times 60 is, what is my math on that? Was it 320? So somebody's got some math on this that's going to be ready. 6 times 60 equals, 360. That would make a lot more sense. $360. You're going to earn your direct order bonus of 6 times 60, which is the normal compensation plan, which is going to be $360. Plus, you're going to earn your rising star if you do this in your first 4 weeks of $240. Plus, if you line this up, this is actually a double cycle. So how much is the builder bonus? Okay, the builder bonus for a double cycle is $100. Plus, you're going to earn 2 cycles, okay, I can spell, which is $90. If you add all this up, I think this is $1,150, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is correct. Let's take a look here real quick. Let's put that up. So we got 360 plus 360 plus 240 plus 100 plus 90 equals, I got it. Look at that, 1150. So that means if you're new between now and convention, you sign up 6 people out of Power Pack, you earned almost $1,200. That is pretty darn incredible. So this package, amazing. Let's run with it. Let's rock with it as we're building into it. Now, like I said, coming out of the view, what we're building into is a view from the edge, a view from the edge. Okay. So a view from the edge being our most important event that we're building into. So, but what we're building out of that is into Black Friday. Now, I pulled up some statistics that I just wanted to share with you guys here real quick so you guys can see this. I'm going to be going over more of this stuff tomorrow. Okay. But what I did was this is I just literally went into Google and I literally typed in Black Friday statistics. And this is one of the first articles that I pulled up. So let's look at some of these numbers here real quick. So in 2019, don't worry, you're going to have 2020 numbers here shortly. 2019, 93 million purchasers per people bought online. The average Black Friday shopping went $7.4 billion, all-time high. 30% of all retail occurs from Black Friday to Christmas, average saving of 37%. 40% of shoppers made an online purchase. And do you think that number is going to go up or down or up in 2021? Yeah, right. So, but outside of that, you looked at this, which is crazy, is you had the average person spent about $400 on Black Friday. But I also Googled yesterday, how much do people spend on Christmas gifts? And this is it. In 2020, consumers expected to spend approximately $850 on Christmas gifts. That's the average. Some people say, well, I spend less. Well, if you spend less, somebody spends what? More. So this holiday season is learning how to convert that $850 into secret cash. And because we do the most incredible deals. And when we talk about incredible deals, we're talking about gifts with purchase. We're talking about our secret surprise packs, which we'll talk about tomorrow, which gives 75% off. But going from the holiday season into the Black Friday, into holiday shopping season, into the new year, where we're going to launch the greatest Club Fit challenge you've ever seen, because two biggest New Year's resolutions are lose weight and make more money. So Monty, that's right. Show off those guns, baby. What's up, right? So these are going to be an incredible, incredible opportunity that we have as a run from holiday shopping into New Year's resolutions, into vacations, trips, into the spring. So this is the time. This is the time to run. This is the time to go. But this is not actually my training here today. My training here today is a little bit different. I want to talk to you guys about what I consider is the road to Royale. Okay. So the road to Royale. And what I mean by that is I don't mean Royale at the bottom of the plan. I mean Crown Royale. How many of you guys would like to finish up Crown Royale? How many of you guys is like, listen, even if you think it's unobtainable, even if you're like, I don't know how I'd ever get there. How many of you guys just like, if you knew it was possible, right, to finish Crown Royale, how many of you guys would be down for this conversation? Okay. So I want to talk to you about the journey, because here's one of the things that I've noticed in my career is so many times along the way, we get confused about what it really takes to finish this journey. And it really is a journey. It's been a journey for me. It was a 10-year journey for me. Now, do I believe it's going to take other people 10 years? Of course not. I think people are going to do it so much faster because we laid the groundwork for a lot of people to be able to do it. So, but hang on a sec. I gotta move people out here. So let's somebody. Okay. So, on this journey, it's exhausting. It's frustrating, right? So, and what you're going to find out is the vast majority of the journey, you're going to be pissed off. How many guys are upset with what your rank is right now? Be honest. If you're upset with what your rank is, look, I know listen, if you're on a huddle on a Wednesday morning, trying to learn how to further your business, you're somebody that's up to something. You want to get this done. You want to make this happen. So you're going to be frustrated pretty much your entire career. Now, you might have moments where you're happy out of an accomplishment that you hit, but most of you guys have hit a rank. Once you hit a rank, how long did that really accomplishment feel good? A day, a week, a month, right? And then after that, you're frustrated. You're not at the next one, right? I get it, right? So part of the deal is going to be learning how to deal with your frustration and using your frustration as fuel. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this because I want to kind of combine it to an analogy. Now, many of you are trying to get to a destination that you've never been to. And most of the people in your life have probably never been to. So I want to equate this journey as if you were making a road trip, right? How many guys like me, you like road trips? right? So I love road trips. I love traveling. I love getting out there. So I want to just kind of draw this out for you guys here real quick, and then I'll come back to my video so you guys can see this, okay? So, but in an example, let's say this is a map of the United States, and that's Texas, there's a Florida, there's a New York, and there's something else. That's pretty amazing, right? I know Texas is like, that is not Texas. All right, I get it. I got, let's go with it. Now, let's say you live in Los Angeles, okay? And as an example, let's say you want to get to New York City. Now, in this example, I want you to pretend like LA is where you've lived your whole life, okay? And let's say New York City is the end goal. This is the journey that you want to go on. And let's say planes don't exist. Can't fly. It's not possible, because I know some of you guys that are overachievers and thinkers are like, well, why would I drive when I can fly? All right, so there's no flying in this analogy. So I want you to take this journey with me, and I think it might help a few of you, making sure that you're not only staying on course, staying on the path, but understand what it's going to look like, okay? So if you grew up in LA, you are an LA person. You know LA things, you know LA, you're a West Coaster, you know what LA is, right? So on this journey, so I want you to picture this. Your friends are from LA. Let's say all of your friends have never been to New York, just never been there, just not been a part of their journey, right? But you wake up and you go, you know what? New York is where I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm supposed to be in New York, the Big Apple, the big city, the city that never sleeps. You know, I want to see the Broadway shows, you know, and I want to be yelled at by taxi drivers. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to New York, right? So here's the thing is, let's say you're about to take your road trip to New York City. One of the most important things to ask is I want you to write this down, is be careful who I ask directions from. This is one of the biggest things in life that I have found, is that people ask directions to destinations they've never been and get advice from people who have never made the journey, okay? And so I want to kind of give you an example. Now, I love, like, I'm in Mexico here, and most of the people in Mexico, if you've been in Mexico, and I'm not talking about tourist Mexico, this is very touristy. I'm not actually like Mexico. The people are the kindest, most genuine, loving, heartwarm people that I've ever met. And what I found is that if you ask them for directions, they will always give you directions. And even if they have no idea what they're talking about, and because they think they're actually helping, because they don't want to say, I don't know, and let you down, they'll tell you. So, but how many of you guys remember before there was, we had our phones and like Apple Maps and Google Maps? How many of you guys remember like MapQuest? How many of you guys remember MapQuest, right? Where you had to print out directions. How many of you guys remember before that, where there was no MapQuest, you literally had to write down the directions to places? Now, how many of you guys remember writing down directions to places before cell phones? And if you couldn't find the destination, if you got lost, it was like, forget it, I'm going home. Like it was like so frustrating, right? So the reason why I'm saying is be careful who you ask directions from is, let's take a look at this here real quick. So can I get from LA to New York City if I want to drive? Can I get there going up into Washington or Canada? Can I get there through Canada? And the answer is what? Yes. I could go up here and then over here and then back down here, because there's the Great Lakes up here, right? So I could do that, right? So that's one way to get to New York City. Could I get to New York City going through Tampa, Florida? And the answer is, of course, I could, right? Now, I could get there. I could go like this and like this, but is that the fastest route? And the answer is what? No. So be careful who you ask directions from when you're trying to get to a destination. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they ask directions from people that have never been to the destination that they're attempting to get to. Number one, okay? Now, the next thing is this. You're in LA, you're ready to take this road trip, you're ready to go, we're gonna do this together, all right? The question that you might ask me is, hey, Jesse, you're in New York City, you've been on this journey, you've taken it from LA to New York City, how long is it gonna take me? How many of you guys want to know how long is it going to take you to get to Crown Royale? How long is it going to take me to get to Diamond? How long is it going to take me to get to Platinum, right? Isn't that a question people ask? How long is it going to take me? And a lot of times we ask people this question and we're going to get numbers. And here's the answer, the only legitimate answer to that question. If I'm in New York City, I'm in LA, I'm from LA and I made the distance and you're in LA and you call me and say, Jeff, how long is it going to take me to get to New York City? Here's the only legitimate answer to that question. I don't know. That's the only real answer that's actually real, right? I don't know. And the reason why is there's some variables. Let's talk about the variables along the journey. Okay. So one of the variables along the journey, write this down. So variables on the journey. Number one, speed. Now in a car, it's very simple. We have speed as miles per hour, or in Canada or the rest of the world, we have kilometers per hour. By the way, the metric system is so much better. I have no idea what's wrong with us in the US, but let's just talk about it for a quick sec. Miles per hour. Okay. So good example. If you and I leave LA at the exact same time, and you drive 30 miles an hour and I drive 60 miles an hour, I'm going to get there twice as fast. Doesn't that make sense? If you drive 10 miles an hour and I drive 60 miles an hour, I'm going to get there 6 times as fast. Are you guys with me on this? So what's the difference between getting a year to Crown Royale or 10 years to Crown Royale? Somebody that's driving 10 times faster. Now, in our business, what is related to your speed? I want you to write this down. Miles per hour in our business would be equivalent to exposures per day. Write this down. Miles per hour are exposures per day. Miles per hour, exposures per day. If I do 1 exposure per day and you do 2 exposures per day, odds are, statistically, you're going to get to the destination twice as fast. If I do 2 exposures per day and you do 10 exposures per day, that's 5 times as much. You're going to get to your destination 5 times faster. Because you're better? Because you're more talented? No, we got to cut that BS. We got to get rid of that belief system BS. I know some of you guys thought it meant something else. It meant belief system, right? That this is a luck game, that this is a talent game. Look, this is a consistency game. So, right now, you will make up in numbers what you lack in skill, but all of us know somebody that's not as good as you, making more money than you. And the reason why is because they're driving the vehicle daily. So, if I sit in my car, I want you to think about this. If I sit in my car and I do the law of attraction, you guys know the law of attraction, right? So the law of attraction, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about New York City. I'm thinking about the lights. 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 I'm thinking about the city. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about the pizza. Oh, the pizza, right? And I'm thinking about going into Hell's Kitchen, and I'm thinking about walking through Central Park, and I'm attracting New York City into my life, but I don't turn my car on. Am I going to get there? No, right? So in our business, miles per hour, exposures per day. What does that mean? That means if you're not doing exposures per day, you are pulled over. So how many exposures per day are you doing? So number one, I want you to write that down. That's a variable. I don't know that variable. I don't get to determine your speed. You get to determine your speed. And I don't know how fast you're going to go, but more importantly, how consistently you're going to go, which means if I go 20 miles an hour today, and then tomorrow I go 5 miles an hour, and then the next day I go 0 miles an hour because I did 0 exposures that day, I am pulled over on the side of the road, which leads me to my second variable. Okay, is stops. How many stops are you going to take along the way? This is an important variable, right? So when somebody says, how long is it going to take to get from LA to New York City? I don't know, because I don't know how many times you're going to stop. Now, are there stops that are required? And the answer is what? Yes. What are some stops that are required? You got to pee. Like I mean, that's just, how many of you guys know? Like you got to pee. Now, some people need to pee more than others, and that's okay. All right. And then the question is whether or not you need to stop to use the bathroom. The question is how long are you pulled over before you get back on the road? This is a very important subject. Okay. So what do you need to stop for? You need to stop for the bathroom. You need to stop for what? Food. You got to refuel. But there's something else that needs to refuel other than your body. What is something that has to get refueled if you want to make it from LA to New York City? Your car. Do you guys know that if you don't refuel that car, the vehicle that you're in, you won't make it? I don't care how positive you are. I don't care if you are the greatest positive thinker in the whole world. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. If you don't fill up that car, you are running out in a couple 100 miles. So if you want to make a 3,000-mile journey, you need to refuel your car. Now, in our business, how do you refuel your car? Write this down, events. Events is where you refuel your car. I can promise you, if you don't come to the events, you will not make it to the end of your journey. New York is not in the cards for you. You will run out of gas somewhere in the desert between LA and Las Vegas. Right? Because you're going to go through Vegas. If you're going to get to New York, it's going to be part of the journey, right? So now on this journey, you must refuel. And how often do you refuel? Every quarter, every 3 months, every 4 months. In our business, it's every couple 100 miles, right? So what's every couple 100 miles? As much as possible. Now, what are the pit stops? Guys, this training is a refuel for many of you, but this isn't a full fill up. This is a pee break, if you think about it, right? This is I'm pulling over to get a snack. Right? So, but there's that. Now, that's another thing, refueling. Now, there's another reason why you are going to take a break, which is sleep. Do you need rest? Write this down. I must rest along the journey. There are rest stops. Obviously, you're going to have to pull over and rest for a period of time. And guess what? Rest can be good. And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to myself. I'm the guy that I've got this like all in 100% go, 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 go. And then what I'll do is I'll burn myself out. And I've experienced that over the course of my 10-year career where it's like, people are like, where did Jesse go? And it's like, I gave it all. And then I got to like refill my, it's like, I got to replace the entire freaking engine because I didn't take enough rest. I overheated my car, my vehicle, right? So now many of you guys here's the thing is that some of you guys take a rest stop as a stop, and you sit on the side of the road. And that's why when people say, how long is it going to take me to get to Crown Royale? I don't know. I don't know how long you're going to stay pulled over before you get back on the road. So, but here's the thing I can promise you is thinking about driving gets you nowhere. Thinking about it gets you nowhere. The only thing that's going to get you there is miles per hour. So miles per hour is exposures per day. The other thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to refuel. Now, the next question is like, okay, Jess, I know I'm going to do this amount of exposures per day. I'm going to do this many rest stops. I'm going to do this many pit stops, and I'm only going to sleep this much. I know all those variables. How long is it going to take me to get from LA to New York City? And I'm going to have to say something else to you, which is, I don't know. And the reason why is this, I don't know which route you're going to take. You're like, no, Jesse, I'm going to take the route you took. Right? So, but let me ask you a question. The route I took 10 years ago, have the roads sometimes changed in 10 years? They better believe it. But there's also a variable that I can't account for, right? And what are the variables that we can't account for that no one account for on your journey? Write this down. Weather. Circumstances that are not of your control, that are not of my control, that no one can account for. If you're driving through the Rockies, are there places if you're driving over the Rockies that it's challenging to drive if the weather is really bad? And the answer is what? Yes. Have you ever had wind so bad or snow so bad, where you can't see in front of you? Yes. Now, is it possible that on this 3,000 mile journey, you're going to run into some bad weather? And the answer is yes. Likely you're going to run into some bad weather. All right. You might have to be pulled over and that's not of your making. It's not of your making, but you're going to have to be on the side of the road for a little bit. And it's part of the journey. Part of the journey is learning how to deal with the fact that sometimes you're going to have to be put on the side. It's part of it. But here's the biggest reason why. Here's the biggest variable that determines how fast you're going to get to your destination. Other people. Right? So how many guys have experienced a thing called traffic? How many guys no? It's like in LA, we don't even give distances based on miles. We give distances based on time. Right? How long, how far is it to get from here to here? It's about 30 minutes. We actually don't say miles. Nothing in LA is miles. It's always distance.
First thing that I would like for you.
Right? Okay. So now what I want you guys to understand on this journey is is there going to be traffic? Yes. Is that of your making? No. Is it frustrating as all get out? Yes. Right? Here's the worst part. The worst part. Write this down in your notes. Other people's accidents. Other people's accidents. What are other people's accidents? Meaning somebody got an accident. It's not your fault and your lane is closed. You didn't even do anything. And now you're pulled over on the side of the road, or you're in a traffic jam, you're in a stop, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we didn't know about it. I didn't have that accident when I drove from LA to New York City, but you have it. Now you might be saying, well, that's not fair. Well, listen, when you get upstairs, you can negotiate with God and say that your traffic accident shouldn't happen. But guess what? That's part of it. Now, the other part of this that I want you guys to understand is not the accidents on your side of the road. The worst ones are the accidents that are on the opposite side of the road that slow down your road. How many of you guys, this just drives you bananas, right? So now, why do we call what are these accidents that slow down your road is what we call rubberneckers. You guys know what rubberneckers are? Rubberneckers are people that are, right? So listen, I want you to really think about this. You're heading to a destination, an accident happens that's not on your side of the road, that is not obstructing your traffic, that is not obstructing your review, your goals of where you're going in your car, and your lane slows down. Why? Because people have to stop and look. They can't turn away. I got to see it. I got to see the destruction. I got to see the death. I got to see the accident, right? Because we're attracted to that stuff. And look, and I'm always the guy that's like, don't look, because I do these trainings, right? So I'm like the guy like, don't be one of those people, right? So, and then inevitably I'm always like, look, because I'm trying to be the fast looker, because I want to look too. Every time there's an accident, how many of you guys legitimately, when there's an accident, you drive by, you want to look? You want to look. You want to look, right? So we're all part of that problem. We're all part of that issue. But what does that mean? What that means is this. There are people that are going to get in accidents that have nothing to do with your path, nothing to do with your destination, nothing to do with where you're going. And there are people that are going to be distracted by something that has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with their path. Look at this company, or look at what they're doing, or look at this other business, or look at this, or look at, and you know what they're doing? They're doing this and they are slowing down, even though it has nothing to do with getting to New York City. In fact, it's something going the opposite way, and they're not even thinking about it. But this is going to happen a lot in your business. I've seen it happen all over in the world of Seacret right now. I'm having conversations with people. I was like, and? People say, well, this, and? This, and? Like, what does that have to do with you getting to New York City? And the answer is nothing. Well, Johnny decided to go back. Johnny decided to do something else. And? What does that have to do with you getting to New York City? Nothing. Well, Johnny turned around and, well, Johnny stopped and, well, Johnny decided to slow down. And you guys get the right, like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I want you guys to understand, like, what does that matter? Your journey is your journey. You're driving your journey. Okay. So to you and to your destination. So there's some variables, but the ones that you can control, you got to control. The ones you can't control, you're just going to have to push through. You're going to have to sit in some traffic. You're going to have to maybe be pulled over on some bad weather. You might have to take a detour. How many guys have had to take a detour sometimes? And it's annoying, right? Because you're like, man, this would have been so much faster if I didn't have to take this detour. Now I get it, but detours may have to happen in your business. Look, 2020 was a big detour for a lot of people. Right? There are some pivots and some changes, and we can whine about it, cry about it. We can pull over and be like, it's not fair. But guess what? Life wasn't, whoever told you life's supposed to be fair was lying to you. And like, it's not like, so build a bridge and get over it. Like, let's move on. Like it's not designed to be fair. It's designed to be worth it. Okay. So on this journey, now I say all that to say this isn't even a big part of the lesson, but I want you guys to understand all this to get to my point, right? This is a long analogy, right? So, but going from LA to New York City, you got to be careful who you ask directions from. Some people asking directions of people who have never been to the destination and therefore are going to send you in a tailspin. Okay. So, but on the road to the New York City, I want you to think about this. Let's say you're getting in the car. Okay. Here's what most people are. They're super impatient. How many guys have ever taken kids on road trips? And then about like 20 minutes into the road trip, they're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Mom, are we there yet? 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 And how many of you guys are just like, oh my God, please shut up. Like, oh my God, please shut up. Right. So please. Here's the problem. All of you have that voice in your head about your next rank. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there? Are we there? Are we there yet? Why aren't we there yet? We've been driving forever. Mom, we've been in this car for eternity. You know, kids are just super exaggerators all the time, right? So, right, we've been here for 1,000,000 years, Mom, right? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Right? So here's what a lot of people do on the journey, on the way to New York City. You know what you're visualizing? You're visualizing the big city, the big lights, right? Now, let's say in this example, you've never left Los Angeles, never left Los Angeles, right? And you're driving from Los Angeles to New York City. And about 4 hours into your journey, you're getting a little tired. You're like, man, right? So I wonder when I'm going to get there. I wonder how far it's going to take. I wonder how long it's going to take me to get there. I know they said it was going to take a long time, but I don't really know, right? Because you got no GPS. You're just following someone's guide. Take this road, right? So, and all of a sudden you see the big lights and the big, like big hotels. And you're like, oh my God, I'm here. I'm at New York City. I never thought I'd get here this quickly. But you're not at New York City. If you've only been driving for 4 hours from LA to New York City, you are in Las Vegas, baby, right? The city of lights. Now, are there a lot of lights in New York City? I mean, a lot of lights in Las Vegas. Yes, a lot of, and we pull over and we get pulled into the gambling mentality. We get pulled over into the, oh, if I just find this one big network marketer, if I could just find a Jesse Macpherson and recruit him, and we go elephant hunting, right? Or we think that our business has to do with luck. So what do? We roll the dice on our business. We actually don't decide to get better at our business. We just decide that we're hopefully going to find somebody that's better than us, smarter than us, faster than us. And instead of working on ourselves, we end up gambling away and tucking our tails between our legs, losing our money, and then driving back to LA and saying network marketing doesn't work. Right. Right. Now, let's say you're one of those people that's like, you know what? Almost everybody I know on the journey from LA to New York City is going to get sucked into Vegas for some time. They usually do in our business. But once they go, you know what? This isn't a talent-based business. This isn't a luck-based business. It's a skill-based business. I'm going to get back on the road. I'm going to get back on the road to my destination. I'm going to do my exposures per day. Right. So I'm going to refuel my car. I'm going to make sure I'm going to all the events. I'm going to plug into the system. I'm going to be consistent. Right. Here's what happens. How many of you guys, so along the journey, you want New York City, that's the goal. You guys have, so I want you to do me a favor, close your eyes real quick, and I want you to picture New York City. If you're driving, don't do this, right? So, all right, so picture New York City. I want you to picture New York City, the lights, the subway, the smell. If you've been in New York City, you know what I'm talking about, right? Times Square, right? So New York City, New York City, New York City, all right? The skyline. All right, now open your eyes, okay? Has anyone here driven in the middle of the United States of America through like Oklahoma? Like, has anyone ever driven through the middle of the United States of America? What's in the middle of the United States of America? Nothing. Like nada. Like no, nothing. Not a building, not like maybe a cow, followed by more field, cow, cow. Field, cow, maybe a small town, and then a Crackle Barrel. Right? So off the side of the road, some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So, right? And then maybe if you get to a little bigger city, you get a Waffle House, right? So if you get lucky, okay? So, but if you've ever driven, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because I've driven this between that there here in the United States of America, right? So driving across the United States of America, this whole stretch until you get to somewhere around here and get into some cities, this looks like nothing. Or if it doesn't look like nothing, it definitely doesn't look like New York City. Like, doesn't look like New York City at all. So what's happening in our business so much of the time is what we're thinking about is New York City, New York City, New York City, New York City, city that never sleeps, the big buildings, the big lights. But we are driving in our car on the journey to New York City, and we're looking out the window going, this doesn't look like it. This isn't it. This looks nothing like what I'm trying to get to. And if you've never done the journey, you've never done the road, there wasn't a way to look at Google Earth, if there wasn't a way to map this, because you're asking directions from somebody over the phone, if there wasn't a way to see this on a map, if you didn't know and someone just said, take this road, and if you keep on this road, if you keep doing what you're doing, if you keep doing the business, if you keep following the system, you will get to the destination. If you do that for long enough, you'll get there. But when you're on the road for 90% of the journey, you know what it looks like? Nothing. This is why most people quit. This is why most people quit. It's not because they don't want to be consistent. It's because what they're seeing and what they visualize as the end result don't line up for the majority of the journey. So what does it require? Faith. 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 I don't want you to fake it till you make it. I want you to faith it till you make it. I want you guys to know that the journey that you're on is real. The destination is real. New York City does exist. But along the journey, when you get halfway through your journey and you look out the window and it looks like nothing, you're like, man, I went to event after event after event and I still have like one person showing up or nobody showing up. It looks like nothing. I've been doing my exposures. I've been doing my presentations. Now, here's what's crazy. The person pulled over on the side of the road in Barstow. Now, if you guys don't know what Barstow is usually where people stop as a pit stop on their way to Las Vegas. It's like a little town. So it's like a pit stop on your way to Las Vegas. It's not really a city. It's not a destination. It's a stopping point, right? So, and here's the thing. If you keep on your journey, this looks very similar to this, but you are in very different places in your business and on your journey. But along the journey, here's what a lot of people look like. They go, man, this doesn't look like the end destination. And then what do? They let their foot off the gas. And then what do? They don't go refuel their car. They don't go to the events. They don't do their exposures. They stop doing their presentations. They pull over to the side of the road. Now, it's the most heart-wrenching thing I experience in my business. It is literally the thing, there's a lot of things in our business that are difficult. For me, you want to know what the most difficult part of the business is for me? Is watching people spend a year, 2 years, 3 years going on the journey that get 50%, 60%, 75% of their way to New York City and then give up because it doesn't look like what their end destination they want it to be. And I'm just like, and they go, you know what? LA looked better than this. LA does look a lot better than Oklahoma City. If you've ever driven through the plains of Oklahoma City, a lot of the times, if you've lived through the plains of Kansas, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So a lot of people, what they do is they find themselves resetting and they go, you know what? I'm just going to go back to what's comfortable. I go back to what I know. And here's the problem in our business. If you pull over in our business, if you knew for a fact, okay, in our business model, okay, you got to Oklahoma City, which is about the halfway point. That's why I'm picking on Oklahoma, right? So in Oklahoma City, if you knew it was just as far to get to New York City as it was to get home, who wouldn't continue? Everybody I know would continue the journey to New York City if they knew it was going to take just as long to drive to New York City as it was to drive back to where you started. Here's the problem in our business. It doesn't take any time to drive back to where you started. Here's all it takes to get back to where you started. Give up. That's it. All you got to do is say, I guess I'm done. And guess what? You're immediately transported back to LA to where you started. And you got to start the journey all over again. So why am I sharing all this with you guys here today? What is the message here? So, oh, sorry guys, I got a helicopter. Oh, it's one of those little things. Those things are cool. I want to do that. What's that? Anyway, sorry, squirrel. So on the journey, what I want you guys to understand is this. Every single one of you, you made a decision to start. And I'm proud of you for making a decision to do that. I'm not interested in your decision to start. I'm interested in your decision to finish. Finish your journey. Finish your race. And along the journey, along the way, when you're driving through the middle of nowhere, a lot of times it's going to feel lonely. It's going to feel like there's nothing here. You're going to be questioning and doubting, am I really doing the right thing? I mean, I'm doing my exposures per day, but I'm not seeing the results. I'm not seeing the lights. I'm not seeing the buildings yet. I'm not seeing the Broadway show yet, right? Where is it? And only reason why I can have this conversation with you is because on my journey to 6 figures in network marketing took me 4 years. And for about 3 of those years, I didn't even know that it existed. I was just banking on the fact that these guys were giving me the right direction. And I kept going and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going. And my third year into the business, I was actually worse off financial than I was when I started network marketing. I was worse off. I was worse off financially. Now, part of it was because I made bad decisions. So, but along the journey, there were so many times I was going like, I built a team and then it fell apart. And then I built a team and it fell apart. And I was just like, I feel like I'm nowhere. Now, the difference between those of you that are nowhere and those of you that are on the journey is those of you that are nowhere, it's because you're thinking about the business. Those of you that are on the journey, it's because you're doing the business. And doing the business isn't showing up to events. That's just putting fuel in your car. Doing the business is doing the activities. It's your exposures per day. It's your presentations per week, right? It's how many times are you showing the plan? How many times are you demoing the product, okay? Because if you fill your car up and don't drive it, you can't fill it up anymore. It doesn't need more fuel. Many of you guys, you don't need more fuel. You need to run out of fuel so we can fill you up. And if you aren't feeling like you got exhausted, like you did this thing, like you're running out of gas, then you aren't actually doing the business. So I do this. So I need to be filled up right now. My tank is low right now and I can't wait for the view because I've been running. I've been working. I've been doing this business. I've been doing presentations. I've been doing trainings. I've been doing as much as I could. And honestly, I feel like I'm not doing enough most of the time because I was like, man, I wish I could be doing more. I'm trying to clone myself, right? How can I get like 2 or 3, 4 of me? And that's why I'm doing these calls and these trainings is so I can replicate it. So all the feelings, the emotions that we've experienced. So for some of you, all I'm here to tell you is keep going. Keep on the journey. For some of you, here's what I'm telling you, get out of the pit stop. You've been pulled over at a rest stop and you took it as a stop. It's a rest stop. It's been long enough, right? It's time to get back on the road, right? Now, if some of you guys are like, I don't got any fuel, well, then you get your butt to Las Vegas and you get refueled so you can continue on the journey, right? So you can keep going further, so you can make it to New York City. And understanding that the majority of the journey, it's not going to look like the end destination. Just like driving through the United States, it's not going to look like New York City. Nothing looks like New York City except for what? New York City. Nothing looks like New York City until you get to New York City. And then once you get there, I'm telling you, you have friends, you have family that are waiting for you to finish your journey, to get to the other side, and we will celebrate. And I don't care how long it takes you. I don't care. I honestly don't care if you decide to go to Canada first because someone gave you some wrong directions. I don't care if you happen to go into Mexico and you come up through Texas and then you circle around and take a pit stop in New Orleans, and then you decide to go down to Key West, Florida, which is not the right way to go. And you finally kit yourself around and you come up the freeway and then you stop in Hotlanta and then you end up in New York. I don't care how you finish your journey, but you do not get off of the road. You finish the journey. But again, back to the beginning conversation, be careful who you ask directions from. So many of you guys are going to ask me the question, Jesse, how long is it going to take me to get there? And here's the legitimate answer. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take you. But here's what I do know for sure. You can get there. You can get there. You can finish this, even if it takes you twice as long as the person next to you. Even if you go 1 mile per hour, you can make it to New York City. It's going to take you 3,000 hours, but you can make it. Even if you take some more rest stops than somebody else, even if you have more traffic than someone else, even if you have worse weather than someone else, even if you have to take more detours than someone else, even if you get the wrong directions from somebody for a long period of time and you get lost in the wilderness, you can still get to the destination. You just can't go home. Can't go back. And that was my motto for so many years on the destination going forward. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to find the right people. I don't know how I'm going to build a team. And then once I built one team, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to build a second team. And then it was like, I don't know how to build this internationally. And then I don't know if people are going to listen to me and I'm too young and all the other BS belief system that's talking in my head. Are you there yet? 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 It's like, shut up. We're going to get there. Put on a movie, watch Frozen on repeat, be quiet, and let me drive. Let me drive. So when I was looking forward, going, I don't know if I can do this, my thing was this, is looking back, I was like, I am not going back. I am not going back. So I found out if you can't go back, you must go forward. If you can't go back, you must go forward. It's my tattoo. You must go forward. And if you must go forward, failure is not an option. If you must go forward, failure is not an option. And if failure is not an option, your success is inevitable. Meaning, New York City is waiting for you, but you got to stay on your journey. So enjoy the process, put on some good music, listen to some Jim Rohn, put on some Zig Ziglar, pop in some Tony Robbins, listen to some Mark Aceta, listen to your leadership that have been to New York City that are giving you directions and encouragement every single day. But when we say just keep doing it, we're not just saying it because it sounds good or we're trying to get you to do something that doesn't make sense. We're saying it because we have been through the journey that you're on, and we're here to tell you the majority of it doesn't look like what you want to get to, but you've got to stay on the road. If you're pulled over, get back on the road and let's finish the race. I can't wait to see all of you guys in Las Vegas. I can't wait to see all of you guys have the biggest days of your career on Black Friday, the biggest months of your career in December, and then launching into the biggest year of your life, 2022. But your 2022 momentum starts now. Let's go present. Let's go get those power packs. Let's go get those people started. And I will see you. Jesse Mack signing off here. Cabo San Lucas. Take care. Bye.